humans. This is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me, or Mr. Buttons, or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives, every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. I've asked Gracie Robbins to join me today. She is a Sylacauga High School Skills USA student, and she is here to talk about their program and talk about their day that they went to the shelter, because a part of Skills USA is learning real-life skills that they can use in the workforce, like photography and media production. And she was able to come out to the shelter and take some pictures of the dogs and the cats, and we can use those photographs to help give them more visibility so that we can help get them adopted or to local rescues. So Gracie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for asking me.
So tell me a little about, now first of all, I said you're a high school student. You're about to graduate.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what are your plans after graduation?
After graduation, I am moving to Auburn. I'm completing my degree through CAC, and then I'm going to Auburn University.
Okay. Now let's talk about photography. So what got you interested in photography in the first place?
I've always been interested in photography as a kid, but it really took Mr. Reynolds, the photography teacher, my freshman year, getting me into it.
He does such a good job with that program.
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen you guys everywhere with the Skills USA program taking pictures. Now, once you got into that, once he got you interested in it, was there a moment that you realized, hey, wait a second, I can do this, and I can take some good pictures?
I do think that it was when I was taking prom pictures. I don't know why, like I was just so comfortable doing it, and I had the hang of it, and I knew what to do at that point, so I was very confident in myself going forward after that.
Now, with that confidence, did you also start seeing that the photographs that you were taking could have a big impact in some people's lives or in the lives of animals like you did at the shelter?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have your own pets, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what kind of pets do you have?
I have 5 cats and 2 dogs. The cats, they're just a mix. They're all rescues, or we saved them.
Okay. And then the dogs, you said one of them came from the shelter also.
Yes, ma'am.
And then one of them you rescued that was someone who couldn't take care of the
Yes,
dog
ma'am.
anymore. So you understand animals and animal rescue and
Yes,
things
ma'am.
like that. Now, where did the idea come from to go to the shelter to take some pictures of the dogs?
This has actually been an idea for about 3 years, and we just haven't implemented it yet. We were very excited. We thought that it would be a great community service, getting involved in the community, because there's a lot of animals that do need homes, and that could be a great thing to use as pictures to get them those.
And it really does. It helps, and we have those beautiful pictures of the dogs. So when they came out, we've got some great pictures, and we can use those for like I said, for adoption purposes, and then also our rescues that we work with, where we get the pictures of primarily the dogs there. Here are some pictures right here now it wasn't just you there. I wasn't there that day, right? You had some other students, or was it just you?
It was me, 2 other students, and Mr. Reynolds.
Okay. So, and these pictures are beautiful. I mean, we've looked through them, and those are some that we can use for rescue purposes too. So our partner rescues in other
Yes, ma'am.
states, they need beautiful pictures of the animals so they can see and figure out, are they very adoptable there. And there's a little kitten picture that you took. So what did you learn when you got there? What surprised you? Had you been to the shelter before very much?
I'd been to the shelter one time when I was little, when we got our first dog, but it really surprised me how many animals were actually there. I'm sorry.
There are a lot of
Yes.
animals there. And this one right here, this is Charlie. He is, I made him our pet of the week because he sure is giving our volunteer there a big kiss. But Charlie was actually dumped at the shelter with another dog that we think might be his dad. So it's two hound dogs. The Winston, his dad, is actually going to a rescue in Minnesota. But Charlie is still at the shelter, and he is such a sweet dog, obviously. You can tell that's the wonderful picture that was taken there. And he's a couple years old, and the interesting thing about these two hounds is we've never really heard them bark much. So I think they're quiet hounds. So if someone's looking for a really sweet hound dog that's not going to be so loud that the world will know he's there, then Charlie is a good dog for that. What did you think about the dogs when they first came out? Was it hard to get a picture? Because you said you notice there are a lot of dogs at the shelter.
Yes, ma'am.
And so they get super excited when they come out on Saturdays and get their dog walking days. Was it kind of tough to get a good picture because they were jumping around and excited to see everyone?
It was, but I do think that they made really cute pictures, like the picture of Charlie jumping on Mr. Reynolds. I think that's who it was. They were very excited and made very cute photos.
They are. It's always fun to see how excited they are when they first get out, but then you can start learning their personality once they're out walking around a little bit and they calm down, and that initial excitement of having everyone there. Now, with the pictures that you took, obviously you guys are learning really good skills there with the photography. It's not just taking pictures with your phone. So what kind of equipment did you learn to use, and how hard was it to go from not knowing anything about photography to all of a sudden having all these complicated things you have to look at?
We have used anything from Sony cameras to Canons to flashes to older styled cameras. We also are getting certified in Adobe. If you're in the pathway, you'll get certified in Adobe.
Okay.
It is difficult to learn because cameras are math. It takes a lot of thought and remembering all the settings, how to change settings. It is pretty difficult, but Mr. Reynolds made it very easy.
So there's a lot more to it than just snapping a picture.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I think a lot of people probably don't realize that because, again, we have such easy access to taking pictures now that there's a lot that a photographer that's had the training can do that the average person can't do. Now, what else? We talked a little bit about it before the show started. What else does the high school have for Skills USA?
Right now, the high school has, at the moment, manufacturing, and I think they have another section of arts and AV, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be implemented as much as photography is, or will it continue to be a thing.
Well, because you started at what grade, you said? With
Freshman year.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 4 years now.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you've really been able to go. I see you guys at so many events, and it's just great to have you there taking pictures. What did you learn going to these events? And how hard is it to take pictures at an event with people moving around versus the shelter with dogs moving around and cats rolling around on the floor?
Honestly, I think the pictures of the events with people is a lot harder, but you learn a lot. You learn how to communicate with people. You'd be surprised how many people will just come up to you, start talking to you if you have a camera in your hand. You learn how to handle tough situations and awkward situations.
I bet there are a lot of different skills than just snapping a picture that you get with all of those events and all that interaction with people. Now, what did you learn about the dogs at the shelter? Anything that you walked away and thought, well, I didn't think about that with the shelter situation?
They were all incredibly sweet. I think you hear shelter animals and you immediately think scared, shy, not like people, being a little aggressive, and none of them were.
And that's what we always like to talk about on here and when we get volunteers, because I do think a lot of people think that if the animals are at the shelter, then they were a problem, or they are not really adoptable. But as you know, with your own shelter dog, and you've experienced there with all of those dogs, they're actually really sweet, and they're fun to take out and walk. And look how excited this dog is, and all those dogs are roaming around out there. Did you get to walk a dog, or are you mainly there to take pictures?
I got to walk too.
And we have wonderful volunteers that come every Saturday. So hopefully the Skills USA group, Mr. Reynolds' class, will still come out and periodically take pictures, because I think that you guys got some much better pictures than we've ever gotten out there.
Yes, ma'am.
So we appreciate y'all coming on so much, or coming out to the shelter so much. Now, you also have your own photography business.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about that briefly. So, because you're going to continue to do that even while you're at school.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I started about sophomore year. I became an apprentice, which is a program that lets students get paid to take pictures.
Okay.
And you become an employee of the school. I started doing small things, dances, small photo sessions, such like senior sessions. Now I have done 2 weddings. We were invited to take pictures at NASCAR, and I have done proms, and I've expanded it a lot, and I plan to keep expanding it.
That's great, because you can definitely use these skills
Yes,
to
ma'am.
continue making, because it won't necessarily be your main career, but you can still have it as your project on the side.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how does it feel to be able to do something like you did with the shelter, like you do with these events that we have all over town? How do you feel being able to impact the community like that? Because yeah, I love looking at your pictures on Facebook and seeing everything that, it's almost like I can keep up with the community with events that I wasn't able to attend or different things going on. I get to look at the Facebook page for Skills USA and see everything that you do. How does that feel? with
It
you?
feels great. We not only have done the shelter, we have done like the 4th of July things at the park
Okay.
where they do the fireworks. We have done Sunshine Saturday, other community events. It just gets you really involved, and like you said, it gets pictures out there. People can look at them if they weren't able to go, or people can look at them and see pictures of them or their kids, and they get really excited, and that just feels amazing.
And so it sounds like with the Skills USA program, there are a lot of different things that that young people can be introduced to that they might not have ever realized they would like to have as a career, or you know, in your case, again, it's going to be second career or your side career, so to speak. But how would you encourage other young people or ninth graders coming in to get interested in one of these types of workforce development Skills USA programs?
They just need to know that it is a really good program, and work-based skills are very important to learn. Not only like how to count money and how to handle people, but just your soft skills, your communication, your compassion. Being able to communicate with people is one of the most important things, and I do think that is a very important skill to know. And it's not, the program is not just work. You have a lot of fun. You get a lot of experiences that you normally wouldn't get in high school.
Well, you certainly have impressive photographs that you've taken, and you've learned a lot.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we appreciate all the things that you've done for the community through your photography.
Thank you
and
so
thank you
much.
so much for coming on the show. Now, Gracie mentioned Sunshine Saturday. We have that this weekend, so please come out. We will have a booth there and have some adoptable dogs at Sunshine Saturday, but we'll also be walking dogs. Now, Charlie here in the picture is not going to be at Sunshine Saturday, but he will be at the shelter, and we will be walking dogs just as usual from 11 to 1. And we would love to have you join us and come out and meet Charlie and the rest of the dogs. And thank you so much for joining us. Please stay tuned. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages.